Hello, music fans. So I saw that Nik Nocturnal is hosting an award show this year. I watched a bit of it last year, and he's a metal content creator who I sometimes watch. I think he's also a fellow Canadian as well, so gotta give him props for that. And just look at him here with this yellow suit. Like, come on, how could you not watch this? So I mean, this to me is probably more interesting than watching a award show like the Grammys that isn't really as relevant to my musical taste. Nick focuses on more heavily on metalcore, whereas my preferred genre, my favorite genres are prog metal and prog rock, though metalcore is probably like a close third favorite genre for me. I think a lot of the music in that scene is very hit or miss, but some of the best stuff in the metalcore scene is just amazing. So I figured I will vote in this award show, and I figured I'd make a quick video of me voting. I don't know that I'll know of every artist that is mentioned in here, so I'm not going to take the time to necessarily go listen to the ones that I don't know. I've listened to a lot of music this year. I've listened to over 400 albums that came out, but again, most of it has been in prog metal and prog rock. I've also listened to dozens of metalcore albums as well, so I'll probably know some of the big names in here. So without further ado, let's jump into who I'm going to pick for each of the categories. I think there's like 21 different categories in here, so I'll try to go pretty quick. And I'll put a link to this in the description in case you want to vote as well for these awards. So first one is Breakdown of the Year. And for this, I'm going to just quickly skim these. The one that I remember and really like is this unprocessed one. So I'm gonna pick this one. And I just love the guitar playing style of this band where they do a lot of string muting. Their rhythms are like djent, but their guitar tones sound nothing like djent. Uh, the breakdown is intense, and then it just stops for like a dozen seconds and goes into this beautiful melodic part. So I feel like this is the one I'm gonna pick. I don't think I heard all of these. I heard Whitechapel for sure and Knocked Loose and Half Me. I think I've heard those. Probably Shadow of Intent sounds familiar. Darko US sounds familiar. Probably heard this Ice Nine Kills, but I didn't hear all of this, unfortunately. But for what I know and what I remember, I'm going with Unprocessed. Best animal noises of the year. Now, this one, again, most of these I haven't heard, unfortunately, but I did hear Whitechapel Visceral Wretch, so that one's pretty good. But also, I heard this Greystone Buck 22. I'm going to pick this. This is just hilarious, so that's why I'm picking it. You don't usually think of deathcore animal noises as going to imitate a chicken, but that's what they go for in the song. Definitely watch the music video of this one too, because it's just hilarious. So, Greystone Bach 22 is my pick. Guitarist of the Year. So here's a list. It looks like a lot of great guitarists are on this list. Um, for me, there's one name that jumps out immediately as a prog metal fan that is obviously above all the rest here. For me, that's Aaron Marshall's of Intervals. They released probably my favorite instrumental album this year. And Aaron Marshall is a great Canadian guitar player as well, fellow Canadian. Love his playing. So I'm going to pick him. But Brandon Ellis of the Black Dahlia Murder is amazing. I also liked Carl Sanders. Didn't hear Leo. Didn't hear Mirar, I don't think. While She Sleeps is all right, but it seems like he's up against some heavyweights here, so I don't feel like he has a chance. Unprocessed is great, like I said. Smashing Pumpkins is that's a weird pick to be in here. Almost doesn't really fit in the metal category, and also not quite like technically proficient like Brandon Ellis or Aaron Marshall. Herman Lee, of course, is great. Mark Tremonti, again, a little soft for this list, of it's just more metal. Jason Richardson's great, and Marson. I heard that album and it was pretty well done. Silosis, great album or great EP, I think they put out this year. But I don't remember hearing RJ Passon or Mirar or Chokrin or Aborted, but I'm over there, Marshall. Prog metal, easy pick. I'm obviously going to just be biased towards the prog metal and prog rock picks when I'm doing this voting, but someone's got to represent it, so that's going to be me. So drummer of the year. Okay, lots of drummers here. And I mean, my favorite drummer on the list is obviously Mike Portnoy of Dream Theater, but he put out a single. Dream Theater put out their first single this year, but I kind of don't like picking someone for drummer of the year unless they put out like at least an EP or a full-length album in the year. So the one that's really impressed me actually is Valtteri Väyrynen of Opeth, the new Opeth drummer, and I love the new Opeth album. Honestly, I should probably be making the my Opeth Last Will and Testament review video right now, but I decided to make this video instead because this seems easier to make, and I'm still, working on writing up some of my thoughts for the Opeth review, and it's just, more work to make an album review video than it is to just vote in a award show as a video. So I took the lazy way out. But yeah, Valtteri is going to be my choice from this list. Of course, Flesh God Apocalypse is great. I didn't hear Peeling Flesh. Entheos drumming was also great. I don't think, oh, Vilharta, yeah, that was also a great drummer. Don't remember if I heard this Ocean's 8 Alaska album from this year. Gojira, they didn't put out an album this year, but they did perform at the Olympics, which was amazing. This drumming and All That Remains is pretty good. Slaughter to Prevail, but I mean, this drumming by Voltaire is just, I think it's a step above everyone here, except of course Mike Portnoy, but he didn't release a full-length album this year. So Voltaire it is. We'll go with him. Vocalist of the year. And I'd probably like there's obviously omissions from these. I think I'm gonna make my own videos of guitarist of the year, drummer of the year, and vocalist of the year sometime in the next month or two, and I'll have different picks in my lists. But vocalist of the year, there's a lot of vocalists here. This is missing a lot of people that I would really like to see. It's missing Michael Ackerfeld of Opeth, who did great. The guys from Loch Vostok, Azure. Of course, it's missing Devin Townsend. It's missing Einar Solberg of Leprous. They're always great. Even Rob Halford of Judas Priest killed it again, even in his old age. And Michael Mills of Toehider is awesome. And then on the ladies' side, it's missing. I would have loved to see the singers from Delta and Relica on this list. Um, so I like Janie Crab of Entheos. She's great. Poppy's good. Um, Tatiana Shmelyuk. They didn't release an album this year, but this is going to be my choice from this list, even though Ginger didn't release a full-length album or EP this year. But so she probably won't qualify for my list when I make my pick of vocalist of the year video. But I just have to pick her because she's great. She's one of my favorite female vocalists ever, probably. And the singles that Ginger put out this year are great, and I'm looking forward to their album in 2025. Emily Armstrong did all right in Linkin Park, but I'm not gonna. I feel like Linkin Park's popular. They're gonna get a lot of votes. I'm not gonna vote for that, and it was just fine. Like I think Tatiana is still much more interesting to me. I'd much rather listen to her sing. Flora Jansen, I'm like it's too operatic for me. I'm not super into that operatic symphonic metal sound. Of course, she's talented. Courtney LaPlante would be like my second favorite female vocalist on this list. Ronnie Radke does great, but he also brings in a lot of this like rap, and I just kind of find it annoying. His delivery is great, like you can't deny his talent, but I just couldn't vote for him in this, so it's got to be Tatiana for me. Bassist of the year. Let's see here. Um, Ginger's on here again. I mean, Eugene, he's a great bassist, but they didn't put out a full album. They didn't put out an EP. Hmm. Josh Gilbert from Spirit Box, also good. Shavo from System of a Down. I mean, I love System of a Down, but they didn't put out anything this year. Maybe this other project, Shav, I didn't hear that. And I don't know, like in terms of technical ability, I think most of the other bassists on here are above Shavo, but he is very iconic and System of a Down's amazing. Alicia from Dragon Force is good, but the best on here is Martin Mendez from Obeth. So that's gonna be my choice from this list. Job for a Cowboy is pretty good too. So I think I've heard all of these bass players, but not Eric English. And I feel like CPU, is that just a joke? Like the computer does the bass playing? All right, so Martin Mendez it is. Most fun metal thing. Uh, I mean, it's got to be Gojira at the Olympics. Out of this list, I didn't see all of these things. I didn't see Motionless in White at the WWE. That's not WWE is not really my thing. I didn't see this live stream. I'm not a Fortnite video game player, although I do love Avenged Sevenfold. I mean, most of this I did not see. Archspire drummer audition sounds interesting. Sounds like something I'd be interested in watching, but Gojira at the Olympics is iconic, so I've got to pick that. So, angriest song of the year, and I'm going with Spirit Box because I think I heard Slaughter to Prevail, but other than that, this is the only one I've heard. And yeah, I'm not familiar with the others, but I love Spirit Box. Love Courtney LaPlante, I think also a Canadian, fellow Canadian. So high five Canadians. And she's just a great vocalist and does awesome screams. She's also good at singing, and it is an angry song, and I'm looking forward to hearing Spirit Box's new album 2025. Feels are reals. So I guess these are kind of like the soft songs. And from this list, I'm gonna have to pick While She Sleeps to the Flowers, but I feel like this is missing a lot of good stuff. I've heard While She Sleeps, Bring Me the Horizon. I think I heard Darko song, but I honestly don't think I heard any of the rest of these. But the song that hit me in the feels the most this year was Useless Animal by Pure Reason Revolution. It's probably not metal enough to be a Nick's Award show, though their album does have some metal hints to it. So I would love to have seen them here. But I'll just go with While She Sleeps for this one. Best metalhead to follow. I do not follow any of these people. So I actually wouldn't know. If Nick was on here, I'd vote for him himself if he was on the list. But in terms of metal people, I like some other channels, YouTube channels like Metal Meltdown, Quest for Metal, Metal Trenches. They give some good, album reviews, recommendations, rankings, that kind of stuff. But of course, most of the channels I like to focus on more they focus on prog, but they also talk about metal and maybe prog metal. Channels like Sea of Tranquility, Notes Reviews, Rhyme Signatures, or more of a prog rock focused channel like the Prog Corner, Prog Report, Andy Edwards, Nathan on Shuffle, All Media Reviews, who I've done some collab videos with in the past. So channels like that. They're not going to be in Nik Nocturnal's list ever because he's more metal focused, but those are kind of the ones that I would like to represent and mention in this video here. I'm sure I missed a bunch that I also like to watch, so if I forgot to say your name, sorry about that. But I'm not going to vote in this one because I don't follow and watch any of these people really, unfortunately. Best metal content creator. And from this list, I'm gonna have to go with Drumeo because I love watching Drumeo. The only other one that I really recognize here is 66 Samus, and he's also good. But Drumeo is just so entertaining to watch. They bring in famous drummers to the studio. They give them challenges, like make them play a song without listening to the drum track, a song that they don't know, and then they compare it, or they make them learn a really hard song as fast as possible. And it's just awesome to watch. And like I've seen, Mike Portnoy on there. I've seen Braun Daler from Mastodon and all sorts of stuff. I've seen drummers playing like Dragon Force Through the Fire and Flames. I forget which drummer was. Um, yeah, it's awesome. Love watching it. Best metal news source. I'm gonna go with, I mean, how can you pick a Reddit? That's I guess you can, but I'm gonna go with Rock Feed. They have a YouTube channel that I watch sometimes, and if you want to know about like metal and rock and news related stuff, that's good. I don't watch that much news related stuff. I care more just about the music. So I actually watch more like album reviews and rankings than I do about like news of like band members breaking up or whatever. But if you want to know about that kind of stuff, I think Rock Feed covers a lot of that stuff well. So I'll vote for that one. Sure, all of these are fine. Like Loudwire, Louder Sound. Yeah, like Metal Sucks. They all have some good news if you like news. Music video of the year. Well, my man, another Canadian, Devin Townsend is in here, so he's my favorite vocalist. I've got to pick him. And this is just a fun music video. It's Devin dressed up as a superhero in a spaceship, helping people with chores like assembling furniture and finding their lost dog, washing dishes, sweeping, mowing the lawn, that kind of stuff. And it's just hilarious. Um, I didn't see the Chakran video. I don't remember the Ice Nine Kills video. Maybe I saw it. Bring Me the Horizon video was well done. Baby Metal and Electric Callboy, that one's also fun. Falling in Reverse Ronald, that was production value on that was really awesome. Don't think I saw this Bill Murray one. Dance Gavin Dance, this one's fun. Linkin Park Heavy as the Crown. I don't know. Does this mean the League of Legends video? I don't know about that. Um, I did see it, I think. Nightwish, Perfume of the Timeless, epic, epic as well. But Devin Townsend is for me. Best call out of the year. What does that mean? Like, I think it means like a line that's said in the song that, the crowd would shout out along to. I didn't hear Body Snatcher or Boundaries. See You Space Cowboy is great. I heard that. Excellent. Love it. Kubla Khan didn't hear Knock Loose. I've heard and it's good, but I prefer See You Space Cowboy. Distant Wage War, I think I heard Slaughter to Prevail, but Spirit Box has to take it. I'm pretty sure this is referring to the moment that's like, your God will sort you when you die, that line. And yeah, gonna have to go with Spirit Box. Best blech. Um, it's Poppy. It's gotta be Poppy. I think I've heard some of the others on this list, but this is the one that I remember because I didn't expect Poppy to just go like bleh, because she's more of a like catchy pop metal, but she does scream and she did throw a gnarly bleh in this song. So yeah, these are just kind of a filthy scream right before a breakdown. Like it. Really good. Breakthrough Band of the Year. And the only band on here that I listened to this year was Garia, so I'm gonna have to pick them. Good band. Maybe some of the others are better. I don't know. I've got some listening to do. Even with all the music I listen to, I've missed so much, of course. It's impossible to hear everything. Label of the year. You know, if I was going to make a list, I'd put Inside Out Music as a Prog fan, but that's not one of the options. And a lot of times I don't really pay attention to who the record label is, to be honest, as I prefer to focus on the band and their art. But from this list, I'm gonna pick Metal Blade Records because they put out Voidkind by Dune, which I love. That's an album that I love this year, but I'm sure all of these albums put out some great stuff, and all of them probably also put out some not so great stuff for me this year. But just because of Dune's Voidkind, I'm picking Metal Blade. Although I know, Rise Records has some great artists, and Nuclear Blast has some great artists, Century Media, Napalm, Sumerian. I'm sure they all have some great artists, but it's going to be Metal Blade this year. For me, collab song of the year. From this list, it's Mastodon and Lamb of God. I saw them live together on their tour that they did, and they're awesome. And happy to see that they made a collab song. I really hope it features on both of these bands' next albums because, I'm an album guy. I'm not really a single guy. And if like a single song kind of guy, they put it out as a single, but I don't really buy physical copies of singles really that often. I might have like one or something. But I don't really want to buy singles. And I hope it exists on one of their albums or both. Baby Metal and Electric Callboy is also great, but and Bad Omens Poppy is good. Knock Loose and Poppy is good. Vola and In Flames collab was awesome. That would probably be my second pick on here if I was going to pick another one. I'm tempted to actually pick it, but I'm going with Mastodon and Lamb of God. A lot of the others, I don't think I heard nothing more, or maybe I did. Alpha Wolf and Ice T. What? I definitely didn't hear the first two. I might have heard all the rest, but it's Mastodon and Lamb of God for me. Song of the year. Okay, there's a lot of artists in here, so I'm not gonna like read them all off. Sorry, this video might be kind of hard to follow if you're not actually like looking at the visual where I'm sharing like all the artists because I'm not gonna bore you with reading every single name here, but song of the year, just skimming it for songs and artists that I like. Architects, I mean, I used to like them, but they've kind of fallen off. Just, I'm just not that interested anymore. All That Remains is another band that in their prime, I liked them, the album Fall of Ideals, but they've kind of fallen off a bit and they've lost Ollie Herbert, rest in peace, Ollie. So some of the magic is gone, but th their songs have actually been pretty good. So this one's pretty good. Probably not going to vote for it because there's probably going to be something better on here. Bring Me the Horizon's okay, but again, like kind of like Architects, they've fallen off. Linkin Park, same. Like I liked them in their prime, their first two albums, but they've kind of lost me. Gojira, this is the song from the Olympics, so that's pretty cool. Breaking Benjamin, I don't even think I heard this song yet, but that's interesting. Bloody Wood. Dream Theater. Well, I'm gonna have to pick Dream Theater so far. Oh man, or Opeth. Oh, what's better? I think the Dream Theater song's actually better now that I think about it, but I'd love to pick Opeth because Opeth actually put out their album this year. Okay, it is song though, so I'm gonna have to pick Dream Theater. Night Terror is more of a song. The Opeth album is not really songs, except for maybe the last song. Like it's more of a, they're more like crazy, wild compositions. They're really fun to listen to though. Hmm. Which one should I pick? Opeth or Dream Theater? Let's go with Dream Theater. Under Oath Teeth is pretty good too. Spirit Box, Soft Spine. I don't think I heard 3 Days Grace. That's interesting. EP of the year. I love the Entheos EP and End to Everything. I didn't hear Mirar or Disembodied Tyrant. Counterparts, I forget if I've heard it. Silosis is another great EP. Body Snatcher did not hear. Kingdom of Giants didn't hear. Northlane, good EP. Plot and You did not hear. Greyhaven, that's the best EP on this list for me. Awesome kind of post-hardcore sound, which I really like. Album of the year. Okay, there's a lot of stuff on here. Poppy's good, but not going to win album of the year. While She Sleeps good, not going to win album of the year. Era, I think, is an excellent band. A little safe, their album. I mean, it's always, great riffs, well written, great melodies. I I really like them, but I think some people have said it's kind of boring, and I can kind of see what they mean. So far, it's my favorite out of everything that I've gotten to at this point on this list. Dragon Force is fun, but I still think Era's a bit better. Judas Priest, that's better than Era for me. That's awesome. Black Dahlia Murder is great, but so far it's got to be Judas Priest. Linkin Park, good, not an album of the year material. See You Space Cowboy was excellent, but Judas Priest is Judas Priest, so gotta go with them so far. Um, oh, Blood Incantation, that's even better than Judas Priest. But then there's Opeth, so I'm gonna pick Opeth. And that's it. So submit. Thanks for watching.